Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Animac here from Anime Uproar, and welcome to another episode of the One Piece Virgin podcast. This time with me, I have only two people, but they are the two people, Nux and Briggs.
Nux and Briggs!
And in this episode, we are covering the second part of Whole Cake, chapters 851 to 878. And then next week, we're going to be concluding Whole Cake, and the chapters are Nux.
The chapters are Nux. I agree. I think that's a very, very well put anime.
From I believe it's 879, right? Yes, 879 to 902 or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll check. Give me a second.
It's 879 until Whole Cake is over.
Yeah, 879 to 902.
Okay, great. Yeah, and this, honestly, guys, this was a great section of the arc. I mean, I wasn't a super big fan of, like, a lot of the Big Mom just going on her crazy, like, hunger tangents, but I did love old Sanji crying. And that might sound weird because I'm usually the guy that's like, I hate characters who are crybabies, but bro, this has solidified in my mind the fact that Sanji is my favorite Straw Hat.
Let's go! That made me so happy when I saw you tweet it. And see that right there, that's how you know.
Let's freaking go!
That's how you know honestly, a character is designed well, when them being a crybaby is a positive, not a negative.
Yo, I love Sanji.
He's not a crybaby.
His arc is great, but like he's not even. He's not even. Wait, hold on. Which Straw Hats in this arc do I like more than Sanji?
Brooke.
At least two.
Just shut up.
I at least like two. I'm not joking. I'm actually serious. I genuinely like two Straw Hats in this arc more than Sanji.
Bro, this is Sanji's arc, and it's beautiful.
Yes, it's great. Sanji's a great character.
So with the Straw Hats, you know, you have the big three. You have Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro. They're the most relevant ones. They're the ones with the most screen time, the ones who actually do the most. So you can't really compare them to the other Straw Hats. And out of them three, I like Sanji the best, then Luffy, then Zoro.
Yo, me and Animac are on the same page here.
Yo, I thought you liked Luffy better, Briggs.
I don't know. I just know I like them both more than Zoro. But I think Sanji's like my favorite character, but I could see... I think like Luffy's like one of the best protagonists in anime.
Yeah, Luffy is great. It's just that he doesn't have like that really complex backstory, family relationship that then shapes his life, and yet he still ends up being like Sanji could be cynical. He could be, if he wanted to be, he could be like screw my family and all that type of stuff. And yet he's such a good person that even after everything he went through with his family, as we see in these chapters, he still risks his life to help them. And even with like Pudding, he sees her betrayal and it hurts him, it crushes him so much, and yet he's still like, no, we shouldn't let Pudding and the whole Whole Cake get destroyed. We should still help them. And like I loved it when, so after everything that happened with Sanji learning that Pudding betrayed him and she was planning to kill him, and they're at the wedding because Sanji still showed up because he knew his family was going to get killed and he didn't want that to happen. Pudding reveals her third eye to him, thinking because her whole life she was bullied because of that, and she was told that she was disgusting and a monster and a freak. And she's like, "Look how hideous I am. Now you're gonna die." Blah blah. And Sanji's just like, "Wow, what a beautiful third eye," because he is that much of a simp, and I love it. And I love it, bro. He simps for girls with three eyes who want to kill him, to the point that the girl is like, "I can't help but love this man."
Well, I'd imagine the reason why she covers it is because everyone who sees it is probably disgusted, and she was probably made fun of growing up. And then Sanji, doesn't care about that.
2020, ladies and gents, year of the simp.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, because Sanji just appreciates the female body so much that he would never be like, "Oh, I don't like this part of your body." He's just like, "You're so beautiful," and she was taken off.
I mean,
caught her
yes,
off guard.
That may be true, but like, do we remember his little vacation on? Whatever you call that island? Like the 2-year time skip?
Yeah, the Drag Queen Island or whatever.
The Drag Queen Island. He didn't have nearly enough respect. He is not an advocate of true gender equality. And to be frank, I don't respect him for it.
Okay, I don't care about what you're talking about, Nux. I thought
he
you
would not drop kick a woman if she deserved
Cancel Sanji 2020.
Can we please cancel Sanji?
No,
this man...
so I respect the fact, like, I personally, know where you're coming from in terms of, yeah, if a woman's like attacking you, you got to defend yourself. But I respect Sanji as a character, even though I don't relate to him for everything, because that is his character. He has his backstory that explains why he's so hesitant to hit a woman. And he just, he's consistent with that.
Yo, he's earned my respect so much that even when he simps, I still classify him as a Chad.
Yeah, exactly. That is.
Oh man, Monkey Jones in the chat. Yo, Monkey, do you want to join us right now? Do you want to get in this podcast? I'm keeping an eye on the chat. Feel free to answer when you feel like it. Is Judge top 5 smartest characters in One Piece? No, but he is top 5 strongest.
So did they leave the wedding? Did that like already all break out?
Yeah, so they were just making their escape at the end of this part, and then Luffy ends up helping the Sunny get away, but he stays behind in the mirror world to face our boy Charlie Katakuri.
Is his first name Charlie? No way.
No way.
His name is also Charlotte, but I call him Charlie.
Oh, Charlotte. Okay.
Okay.
I could not remember his actual name because
everyone is Charlotte, bro.
Katakuri is an amazing character, and you'll see more obviously in the next part of this podcast. I
will
say
he has a devil fruit that's similar to Luffy's, like in terms of the power.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Because they mentioned that, but they seem to call it like a special paramecia.
Yes.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I'm like, do you want to do this and just jump around, or do you want to go in order?
Regardless of jumping around, I'm okay with jumping around. Regardless, I still think we should talk about his devil fruit more in the next part. I know he's used it, but
so just like full disclosure, Katakuri is probably in my top 3 characters in all of One Piece.
Oh, there he goes.
What do you mean?
Bro, I told you to
Cracker's
stop
number 2,
overhyping
right?
stuff.
What was that?
Cracker's number 2, right?
No, I was asking Anime.
Don't overhype stuff, bro.
Me, never.
Katakuri is
Charles
like top 10.
Xavier Katakuri is one of my top 3 characters in One Piece.
He's at least top 15.
Anyway, like
Probably
really
top
the highlight of this section of the arc for me has been Sanji. So obviously we know his backstory, and then we saw the whole Luffy moment where Sanji knows that Luffy's waiting for him over there. And Luffy's like, I'm not going to eat anything until Sanji brings me food because I said that I wouldn't eat anything unless it comes from Sanji. So then Sanji brings him that food. We have that whole moment where like the food is all rained on and stuff. And Luffy's like, this is the best food ever. And we're like, yes, bro. So that was an awesome bromance moment between Sanji and Luffy. And Sanji continues just to impress throughout this whole arc, man, with the wedding, how he behaved there, how he behaved towards his family, despite everything they put him through, how he behaved towards Pudding. I mean, a class act, bro.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part, and I believe this has already happened if you're saying that they already kind of made their escape from the wedding a little bit, is when he's talking to Judge. And like he's holding Judge by the collar, and Judge is saying like, "Why would you save me?"
Yes,
like, type of thing. And my favorite, the reason why I love that so much is because he did it because he said like his real father Zeph would have been upset if he let his family die, and what's it called? A Judge refers to him as his son in this moment, and he's like, "I'm not your son. You're not my father. You denounced that 12 years ago," type of thing, or however how many years ago it was. And it's a complete reverse, because when Sanji initially leaves, he says, "Don't ever mention me. Don't refer to me as your father. You're dead to me," basically.
Yeah,
right?
Judge says that. Yeah.
And then in the exact opposite moment now, it's the opposite. Sanji saying, "You're dead to me. Don't ever call me your son. My real father is Zeph." And it's literally a complete contrast of when he's first kicked out.
Yeah, and he says that the reason he's going to help Judge and his brothers, even though they treated him terribly, is because he wants to be able to look his real father, Zeph, in the eye.
Yeah, because he raised him to be a better person.
Exactly. So it was like the upbringing of his real father, like not his blood father, but his real father, that taught him to be like this in spite of everything that happened. And we also learned more about Sanji's mother in this part of the arc. And we learned that probably the reason why he turned out to be a normal person with empathy and compassion and stuff is because she was taking medication to stop the effects of Judge's experimentation, because she was against it, but she was being forced to use this I guess augmentation stuff when she was pregnant. And it looks like only Sanji was able to be saved because of the medicine, and he ended up being a normal caring person, but it was done at the risk of the mother's life because she ended up dying probably from complications from taking that medicine. So that again emphasizes, the role that women have played in Sanji's upbringing versus the men in his life when he was younger who just abused him.
Exactly. Like this initial backstory, which is what happens first like in the timeline, all the men were assholes. The women were the only ones that treated him well.
Although I will say that Sanji's dad and the brothers have good taste in women because they said that they like Nami. They were like, yo, we're into Nami.
We fuck
she's
with her.
She's a strong-willed girl, yeah.
Straight up family of simps. But anyway, so I suggest we actually go in order because there is a lot of flames in this little segment. Like, there are a lot of really powerful moments.
Hell yeah.
For me, the strongest Sanji moment isn't him holding Judge by the collar, like, personally. Like, when he was making food or whatever, and Bobbin's like, oh, what you doing? And he kicks Bobbin to escape, right? And meanwhile, Luffy escapes himself and goes to that place that he promised he'd wait for him.
Yes.
And he's like, he's all pruning up, and he is not moving. He has so much faith in his crew, in Sanji, that he is literally risking it all on the loyalty of the simp.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty powerful.
Very powerful.
So when Sanji actually shows up and gives it to him and he likes it, and then he's like, hell yeah, boys, you're back. Let's get out of here, kind of thing. And Sanji says 3 things that I can't return. 1, I disrespected and injured the captain to the best of my ability. 2, they're holding, like, Zeph and all those cronies hostage that they're going to kill them if he screws up. And 3, they're going to murder his entire family in a few hours, and he can't, like, run away or they'll just die. So he basically says, for those 3 reasons, he cannot go back with Luffy. And then, after literal chapters of him using his full power to injure Luffy without Luffy even raising a fist, Luffy slams him. He demolishes Sanji. This is when he punches, and then he's like, no, tell me the damn truth. And then Sanji breaks down. That is fire.
It really is. Like, stop lying to yourself, because Luffy even says last time, like in the last podcast when we were talking about it, in the early half of Whole Cake, after Sanji just annihilates him, he says, I'm not the one who was in pain, Sanji was, because he's being forced to do this.
So Sanji tells Luffy, he's like, listen, here's the food. I gave you the food. Now get out of here. It's going to get really dangerous. I have to stay because I have to protect, these people, but you have nothing to do with this, and they probably don't even deserve my help, so, forget about it. But Luffy says, no way, like, tell the truth. Tell us how you really feel. And then Sanji says that he just wants to go back to the sunny, bro. He just wants to go back to the sunny with his boys and girls.
Boys!
Epic. I loved it. I love that moment. And
great.
In general, like I said, Sanji had some amazing moments in this arc.
Yeah. It's something interesting about Oda's style of writing that the big character moments aren't necessarily when that character does something huge. Like, the big character moments are usually when that person recognizes Luffy's role in their life. Like, it's very similar to Robin's scene, where essentially, even though the Robin saying, I want to live at Enies Lobby was probably the high point of the arc, like, at the same time, Robin didn't do anything. She only was willing to be true to herself, And at this moment, it's Sanji willing to be true to himself. It's not like he gets a big win. He just defeated Cracker. Like, it's not about the big victory. It's about the honesty and the appreciation of someone that actually does care about you.
Yeah,
it's a much more nuanced way to write shonen, but I love it.
Yeah, and I think that emphasizes what we mentioned multiple times on this podcast, and that's that the battles are not the focus of One Piece. They're obviously there, but they're not the main point of this series.
Yeah.
There was something else I want to talk about. So we learned what Pudding's devil fruit was, and it's like the memo fruit. She can alter memories, erase memories. I thought that was actually pretty cool and useful in terms of, strategizing and all that type of stuff. Kind of like a Charles Z. Britannia type devil fruit.
Yeah. I think I'm going to talk about that more next week, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, just to clarify, what happened was Sanji, Luffy and Nami were imprisoned back in the last episode, as we discussed. But then Jinbei rescued them, and then Luffy went right back to the place where he said he would wait for Sanji, and that's where Sanji found them. Now, Prometheus, Zeus, and Napoleon are special homies, right?
Of course.
There are special homies, right? Yeah.
Dude, we Our special homies.
Yeah, we're special homies.
We're special.
Can I be Napoleon?
No.
Damn it. Anyway, so they're made from Big Mom's soul directly, her own soul, as opposed to like the vitality of other people. So that's why they're more powerful, and they become more relevant as the arc goes on. Zeus actually becomes quite relevant in the latter part of this chapter section. So we'll talk about that in a bit because Nox really wants to go in order.
I just feel like there's so many good scenes, and if we just talk about the high points, we'll lose like the little more nuanced greatness in between.
Mm-hmm. So near the beginning, then there was something interesting was mentioned. Big Mom said that Roger, the former Pirate King, had the special ability to hear the voice of all things. So that's something that I feel like is new, because we know that Luffy and Roger could hear the voices of like animals and of the elephant and all that type of stuff, but it hasn't really been explained. And now Big Mom says this term, hearing the voice of all things.
Dude, as a man that prides himself of being able to hear the voice of all things, the chat is having like a massive debate who would win, Itachi or Kaido.
Oh my god, why?
It's like, just scroll back. It's like, for the last 5 minutes, they were debating Itachi from Naruto versus Kaido.
Itachi would win, done over.
Itachi would destroy him.
Let's not even talk about it.
Naruto characters are they're in an entirely different league. Like, what are you saying?
Anyway, I have no idea because I'm a
but it's
Naruto
kind of irrelevant.
virgin.
Goku would slap both of them.
I'm a Naruto virgin, so I don't know.
Yeah, and anyway.
Anything else you want to talk about before I get into my Nami appreciation time?
Nami appreciation, let's go!
Okay,
I mean, first to be fair, Brooke really did way more than Nami, so I'm happy to talk about Nami first, so we can just get
shower and bath scene, 10 out of 10. Outfits, 10 out of 10. But also, Nami was actually really useful in this arc. She was in the last part of it too, and in this one, she was able to use her climate baton to use Zeus as a way to allow them to escape the seducing woods by actually turning Zeus against Big Mom and the other Big Mom people. So I thought that was actually really cool. I thought it was really cool that Nami is finally becoming more relevant again in the whole, obviously not in main battles,
relevant power-wise too. It's not just like, she's the one that found the key. It's not like she can actually turn the tide of the battle with, turning Zeus into a huge simp.
And let's face it, like her power on its own is not strong enough to turn the tide of the battle, but she uses it in a smart way. So she combines it with Luffy's power, like in the last part, or she uses Zeus and his power in combination with her power in order to make it much more powerful. So again, love my girl Nami. She is my favorite non-Big Three Straw Hat.
Who do you like better, Nami or Sanji? You're not going to answer, but I'm going to ask
Sanji for sure. No, like, so the Big Three, I think you have to like them more because you get so much more of them. And they're so much more relevant.
I wouldn't say so.
I think realistically you have to, but then out of the...
I think
most people just like characters just because they have more screen time. Katakuri doesn't have as much screen time as the Big Three, and I like him more than Luffy and Sanji.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I think you're nuts.
Also, Sanji is the most...
This is old news, but yeah.
Sanji is the most developed and fleshed out character in One Piece so far.
Nah, no one understands Zoro, but Zoro's the best character in One Piece.
Shitty backstory, really badass moments, love him.
Like I said, in terms of the great moments...
Not really fleshed out.
Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji get the most great moments by far. That's why I would put them in a different league. And then out of the rest, I like Nami the most.
Well, the rest, honestly, I think they are kind of a step down. Not just because of lack, aside from Usopp. I way prefer Usopp to Nami. But, like, aside from Usopp... Anyway, we'll talk about that more later. Maybe
but like
another Straw Hat is going to join and they'll turn the tides of the battle or something. I don't know.
If you look at Usopp post-time skip, I mean, he's been interesting, but he hasn't been super relevant.
Usopp was fire in Dressrosa.
Yeah, so he was good comic relief, yes.
He wasn't just comic. First of all, he saved literally everyone, okay? Freaking Sugar would touch Luffy, turn him into a toy, okay?
There's a reason why he was the 5-star god Usopp.
Yeah, it is funny how he beats Sugar. I will say.
Both times.
No. Usopp,
and he unlocked his observation hockey while shooting from a mile away through a little thing, and it's not even a bullet. It ends up being the same thing that scared her the first time.
Yo,
and he stands up. He could have ran away. He had really very little chance of winning, but despite that, he actually was a man and stood up and fought, even though most likely he was gonna lose and die. And then, honestly, it's a little bit of an asshole, but it's funny. It's One Piece. Then he ends up like eating what they thought was poison, and it was just like really hot Tabasco sauce or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
Usopp is such a Chad. He would even be able to hit his shots with like a G7 Scout, which is virtually impossible.
I don't think it actually uses bullets, the G7 Scout. So I'm gonna say no.
It just makes sounds.
They're just blank. It just goes bang.
Animek, you wouldn't understand. You don't bathe in the blues. But anyway, so, well, we don't really have a lot of Usopp appreciation in this arc particularly.
No.
But I think a character. So okay. Much respect to Nami. If you want to respect the true waifu, there was an amazing cover photo of Boa Hancock.
Let's go.
Let's go. Anyway, but like, I would like to mention Brook because I think Brook. This is his best arc.
This is his best arc, and you'll.
His backstory, I think, is one of the best backstories in One Piece. But this is his arc. Virgin.
I mean. Yeah, he was relevant. Him and Pedro, they infiltrated secretly and did a bunch of things. I personally didn't like it as much as I like, like Nami or Sanji and stuff.
Mean, the arc is not done yet.
Yeah, true.
It's true.
But I'm just talking about up to this point.
This
like,
is fair.
For example, like he gets like captured by Big Mom, and then she's like holding him like a pet, and then they get him like away from her and stuff like that. Like all of that was cool, but I wouldn't say like
disrespect the Soul King. Wow.
Like I said, he had some good moments, but I wouldn't say as many as like Luffy or Sanji or Nami.
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, for sure not. Now, Luffy and Sanji both, I think, were much stronger in this arc itself, even in this arc alone. But I'm glad that we're getting through some of the other characters, so I could just wait until I mention my absolute boy, Jinbei. I love Jinbei. He has been maybe top 10 favorite characters in One Piece for a long time. I love this dude.
Yeah, he's been great in this arc. Like in this arc, he really... All of this started on Fishman Island with the whole, Luffy inviting him to join the Straw Hats, but
it really all started in Impel Down. Yeah, he was one of the most important prisoners. He was a warlord at the bottom.
Okay, he was with Ace. Yeah, he was with Ace, and that's when he met Luffy for the first time. Was it?
Yeah, and they kind of became bros at that point. And he fought in that
war. He was with
Luffy
during the hardest part of his life.
Yeah, dude, he was. Oh my God! And Fishman Island, and he was with Fisher Tiger, and he has ties to everyone, and he's willing to put his own personal racial biases aside just to push forward for peace. He is such a Chad. Now he's working with Big Mom. Why, Animac?
To save Fishman Island because it's no longer being protected by Whitebeard.
The selflessness of this dude.
Although I will say, Nami forgiving Jinbei back in Fishman Island was pretty Chadly. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was a good scene.
Yeah, and then Jinbei, in this arc, he turns against Big Mom because he really, doubles down that he's gonna be one of the Straw Hats, and he definitely risks his life and puts his life on the line.
Before that, he actually puts he uses his wrinkly brain. He goes up to Luffy and says, "When it comes to the Big Mom pirates, there is one imposter among us. You want to join forces with Beige, bro?" That was sick.
Yeah, so Beige, aka Capone, he was very relevant to this arc because he has... So we have plot upon plot, scheme within scheme going on here because as we know from last time, the Big Mom is planning to kill...
Now's on a fire
Again?
Yeah, it's his mom cooks with Diable Jambe, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. So we know that the whole wedding was actually a plot for Big Mom to eliminate the entire Vinsmoke family and take over Germa 66's science.
Which is interesting because when she tries to marry into other families for power, she always has a reason why she wants to do that. When it comes to Germa, their power is their technology. So she doesn't need this wedding to take place. She just needs the gizmos.
Yes. And she doesn't even want Pudding to be, married off to Sanji. So it's all a scheme. But within that scheme, there's another plot by Capone to actually assassinate Big Mom while she thinks she is there to assassinate the Vinsmoke family. And then Straw Hats kind of jump in on this plot that's already in motion from Capone. And then it all goes crazy at the wedding. It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts.
Yo, it's
Can I just say, Sanji dodging that shot was so cool. Speaking of observation hockey.
Yeah, that was the Katakuri thing, right?
While he was like up on getting married to Pudding, they go to assassinate him first to like start the assassination, and he dodges the bullet. It was really cool.
So Katakuri like flicked like a jelly bean at him.
Oh, I guess it was a shot from Katakuri. I forgot that.
Yeah, but it's funny because Katakuri apparently has such strong observation hockey that he can see a little bit into the future.
What a Chad.
Which is such a epic power, and that is also in Code Geass. But
true.
The fact that Sanji was able to still avoid that shot from Katakuri is freaking impressive.
Did he see the fact that Katakuri saw into the future, then saw into the future that he was going to see that, and then saw it, and then dodged?
Yes,
cool.
Exactly.
I think it was all of that, maybe even more. But so when they first met up with Beige, and they gave Luffy a gangster hat to put on his straw hat, and they're all sitting around the table, and he's acting like a gangster, and he sees the guy sitting like to the left of Capone is Caesar. And he's like, wait a second, you're Caesar, aren't you? And like, what's his name? Chopper's like, Caesar? No way! I'm just like looking around like he can't find him. And then Caesar's like, I am not Caesar. My name is Gangster Gastino.
Wait, Nux, you're saying that
he's even laughing the same way.
Nux, you're saying Gastino was Caesar the whole time? Damn, bro, you just blew my mind.
I must say, it's the little things. It's like there was no reason to do that. It's such a serious moment, but One Piece is One Piece, and that's hilarious.
Yeah, and of course, Beige has decent leverage over him because he has his heart. So, I mean, it's a pretty good incentive, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just funny that he's like he's trying to make this big smile. I'm not Caesar. I'm Gastino. And then does the he does the Caesar laugh, and they're like, wait a second, he's laughing the same way. What's going on?
And then Luffy believed him.
and then no, Chopper's like, Gastino, I've never heard of him before. It's like,
yeah, I'm just waiting for someone in chat to be like, Gastino for Straw Hat.
Dude, Gastino is a sick character.
Dude, me and Nux have been pro Caesar for Straw Hat much more than Carrot.
Oh, screw Carrot, man. Yeah, but anyway, so I like the idea that supernovas all have their own plan. Like, there are some supernovas that are seemingly subordinates to Yonkos or whatever because they just couldn't make it in the New World. But every single one of them has an insane level of ambition. And that's really what got them so far. Beige joined Big Mom to get her head on a plate. You know?
Yep.
Like, I think that's extremely fascinating.
Yeah, because we were wondering why Capone decided to join Big Mom. Because he is his own guy. He has his own crew. And we were led to believe, oh, he just realized that he has no hope without Big Mom. But in reality, he was planning this assassination the whole time. And actually, his character was definitely flushed out a bit more in this part of the arc. Like, he actually cares about his family, Chiffon, and his son. And he's trying to get rid of Big Mom because Big Mom is just like a bad, bad person who mistreats his wife and wants to kill her children if they do this smallest thing she doesn't like. And she's just like, man, I don't know, bro. Like, Big Mom, like, we got her backstory and we'll talk about that soon. But she's like a force of nature. Like, she's not like a human.
Yeah.
Honestly, she's my least favorite Yonko, but Whole Cake does its job. She seems like it's impossible to defeat her.
She's terrifying.
Yes,
like, just as a character.
I have to say that force of nature is a great way of describing her, because one of the coolest things about One Piece is that they were on their way to beat Kaido. Like, they had this crazy plan going from Punk Hazard to go to Dressrosa to go to Wano. Like, they had this all set out, and then literally like a force of nature, Big Mom swoops in and takes what she wants and completely derails their whole day.
Yeah, and when she like loses it, she goes berserk. She's basically like a freaking hurricane. Like, there's no rationality there.
Yeah, it's kind of spook. It's kind of spook. It's big spook.
No, she is terrifying. And so we get her backstory. First, we learn that there's a picture of someone she calls Mother Carmel that has to be like placed at every big event. And if anyone even so much as touches the picture, she loses it. And that right away got me thinking, like, why? I was very curious. And then we learn who this Mother Carmel is later on. And we basically discover who Big Mom was. She was born giant and super strong. and her parents basically gave her up on the island of Elbaf, the giant's island. And over there, she was so strong that by age 5, she was like beating giants. She would like lose it, get hungry, lose it, and just like destroy the entire village. She killed one of the giant chieftains. It was a mess. But she was living with a bunch of other orphans who were being taken care of by this Mother Carmel. But later it turned out that Mother Carmel was actually selling these orphans to the government. She was looking for the strongest ones and then selling them to the government. And so Big Mom is like, she misses Mother Carmel because Mother Carmel just disappeared randomly on her. And she's like, where is this? I love Mother Carmel. She was the only one nice to me. My parents gave me up, all this type of stuff. I think she freaking ate her, bro.
Dum, dum, dum.
Like, I think she just like went into one of her like eating splurges and she just like ate Mother Carmel and all those orphans. I think that's what happened, bro.
That's just a theory. An Animac theory.
No, but you know why? You know why? Because she ended up having the same devil fruit power as Mother Carmel later on in life. So I think she ate her and took her devil fruit power, bro. But without realizing it. Because she's such a freaking beast. Mother Carmel, let's freaking go! Anyway, yeah, so Big Mom is freaking terrifying, and she was terrifying as a child, and she's even more terrifying now, and just,
I think that she was even more terrifying as a child. Like, when a child starts doing that, it's like, woo!
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, she was freaking terrifying.
Right, so, there was one chapter where we got introduced to a whole bunch of people that were coming in for this very auspicious wedding. It started off with a cover page that I very much liked. It was Crocodile standing in the rain holding an umbrella over a pug.
Yes.
Like, he had the umbrella, and he's weak to water, so he's letting himself get rained on to hold the umbrella.
Yeah, those requests are so like specific.
Yeah, I know, I love it. It's great, but it's pretty random and not really the point. The point is we get an interesting envoy, a drug lord. What's his name? God damn it! Some rich guy, the black market king, and Big News Morgans shows up for the wedding. I happen to love Big News Morgans. I think he's an amazing character.
Well, I mean, so far he's definitely not, but we'll see.
So far he's just a chicken.
He's an amazing character.
But he's an amazing character. Because if you really think about it, so much of this world is reliant on information, and this man controls the news.
Yeah, I saw that the one other girl was making a deal with him about how to report what happened and that type of stuff.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
So that's another dynamic of One Piece that's actually being covered. The news is not objective. I love that. I love that because in a world like today where news is, let's just say, not objective, it's so cool to see how in One Piece it's like that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I also very much like that.
But we'll see more on that later.
Are you trying to say One Piece is fake news, bro?
No, but I'm saying that the real world is fake news.
Fair enough.
And they do a good job emulating it.
But yeah, I just want to say that
also, Animac, yes, I also believe that off of the backstory that she ate the mother.
Yeah. Because again, she has her devil fruit power, and you need to eat a devil fruit, or I guess eat the person. Seems to work as well.
Yeah, man.
I wonder. Okay, so now
jelly beans is crazy. So first of all, Katakuri then is introduced. He's just sitting there, watching.
He's at the wedding,
flicking jelly beans at people and stuff, killing them. You know how it is. And he has the highest bounty shown in One Piece so far, with 1,057,000,000.
Yeah, even more than Jack.
Huge. Yeah, Jack had 1 billion. This dude has
so because Jack just takes L's.
Jack just takes L's, and Katakuri is in my top 3 One Piece characters of all time.
Yeah, he's at least top 35.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd agree. To be honest.
No,
technically, top 3 is in the top 35.
Really?
One thing, again, I will say at the wedding, I love the moment where Sanji completely like disarms Pudding. Like she has this one idea what's going to happen, and then like his sincerity just completely floors her and changes her. I thought that was really cool and really Sanji. It was quintessential Sanji. And ultimately
quintessential Luffy, they couldn't wake him for the wedding.
Yeah, and then when they did wake him, he just did a bunch of crazy, unpredictable stuff. But long story short, the anti-Big Mom plan ultimately fails. However, the crew does manage to survive and get away for now, as we mentioned earlier.
Interestingly enough, what was your what did you suspect? Did you think that it would just utterly fail? What did you think would happen when, like, because Beige is clearly, he's no noob, right? Like, this man, he's been in the game for a long time.
Honestly, I didn't think he would fail, because usually what happens is with One Piece, you know, with these arcs, they all come together into one event, and in that event you have the big climax. So I was thinking that this wedding would be the big climax, but turns out that it isn't, because it did fail, because Big Mom is just so overpowered, like more so than we would have even imagined, especially when she goes on her berserk tangents. So it's like, how do you stop this steel blimp, bro? This lead Zeppelin, bro.
So I was actually also surprised that it didn't even phase her, because Beige does not seem like the type of person that would botch something like this. But he just completely miscalculated how much of a monster Big Mom is.
Yeah, so he even said this is the first assassination plan that has ever failed.
Yeah.
And then we get to see her go into a wedding cake frenzy.
Well, before the wedding cake frenzy brings, you're missing one of my favorite moments of the entire arc.
Okay.
Jinbei standing up to Big Mom, and Big Mom saying, "All right, Jinbei, stay or life?" And Jinbei says, "Life." And then everyone's silent. And then Big Mom asks again. It's so loud that like the whole palace is shaking. "Stay or life?" And Jinbei's just staring at her. He says, "Life." And she cannot suck his soul out.
Wow.
Yeah, you know why?
She's trying her hardest. And yo. And then the guy, Jinbei, what a beast. He says there's no way a man that intends to join the crew of the future Pirate King will cower at a mere Yonko.
Let's go! I love that moment so much.
Turns around, gives his back to Big Mom, and bows down in front of Luffy. Like, what?
Goosebumps.
And he says, "And this marks my departure of the Big Mom Pirates." Puts down a little sake cup on the floor. What a legend!
This was incredible, because the reason why she couldn't take his life force is she can only take the life force of someone who is afraid of death.
Yes.
But because Jinbei was completely unafraid of death, she couldn't take away his life force. That just makes him even more of a freaking Chad.
I'm not going to lie. I like this Jinbei moment more than the Sanji moment.
Disagree, but it is a great moment.
It is a great moment. Whew, I think that's a really powerful moment.
I think I might like that Jinbei moment more than the Sanji moment, but I think it's just it's adding up every little Sanji moment that's equally amazing that makes Sanji such an amazing
what about
character.
The Pedro moment, bro? Pedro!
Bang!
I mean, to be honest, I didn't love Pedro, so no great loss.
What do you mean? The man, knowing that he's gonna die soon because Big Mom took his lifespan, he sacrifices himself in order to allow the Sunny to escape. Like, that is no small thing, my friend. It is mentioned that without his sacrifice, they would have had zero chance of escaping.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely contributed. But I think it's also cute that before even the whole meltdown, you had this weird Luffy-looking dude smash the picture and then pulls it off, and it's Brook. Yeah. And then everyone at the wedding's like, "Oh my God, he peeled his skin off."
Oh, yes. Yeah, because like there was a bunch of Luffy's, because they used the Brulee's power to have a bunch of animals turned into Luffy's, and then Brook just like masked himself as Luffy and snuck up on the picture.
I thought that was pretty.
It's one of Brook's moments that will make him MVP of the arc.
Yeah, as much as you want to try, no.
I think he was MVP of the arc. For another reason, no. It's okay.
No. Mr. Superman, no home.
Is that a Family Guy reference?
It is, yes.
No, I stay.
I take house. Anyway.
Yeah, so in terms of Katakuri's devil fruit, so he has his...
Talk about Katakuri a little bit, because now he's when Judge is having a pretty bad time. Take it away.
Yeah, so his devil fruit is like, they call it mochi.
Yep.
But basically, it's a stretchy dessert or something, right?
Yep.
So in some ways similar to Luffy, but not the same thing.
Right.
Yes.
And like, I thought it was cool. Beige actually becomes a pretty fantastic character over this arc.
Bro, he becomes a castle.
He does. But what else was cool? It's like Beige has the balls to say to Katakuri, all you can do is see a bit into the future, but it doesn't matter because everyone has the same power to change it.
Yeah, that was
a
good.
Great line. I love that.
That was good. Everyone has the right to change it or something. Yeah. That was
great. And also, Judge was having probably one of the worst days of his life that day. I thought that was
like all his planning for years and all his like betrayal of his son ends up backfiring so hard in his face, and it's his very son that he called a failure that ends up saving his ass. Yeah, that was big. That was big, bro.
That was big. That was huge. That was huge.
Not only does he save his ass, but he tells him not to refer to him as his son. I love that moment so much.
And that is well deserved. Well deserved, bro.
And I also thought it was cool that we finally learned that right before the rampage, because now we could start talking about the rampage itself. That right before the rampage, when the photo breaks and she starts freaking out and she remembers what Mother Caramel said, and it shows that island is Elbaf, right?
Yes, and literally at 5 years old, Big Mom destroyed almost the entire island of Elbaf.
Yeah, but what's so interesting is that Elbaf was talked about literally since the Little Garden arc.
Yes.
Like less than 100 chapters into the story or something. Like, that's insane.
It was over 100, but yes, right around there.
Yeah, that's whack.
Well, yeah, so it's very planned out. Like, Oda really planned his stuff out. He's not just kind of improvising.
Although apparently he kind of improvised. He improvised the supernovas relatively like late into the game, and I love how like this adds so much nuance and so much like variables to each like Yonko and each like arc post time skip. Because with this we got Beige, whatever his name is, and with Kaido you have Kid and Hawkins, and it's just like I love that the fact that they're all ambitious and trying to take them down, and if they fail they end up joining them, but secretly it still adds like variables to it, because Beige ended up joining Big Mom, but clearly is trying to still assassinate her.
So the supernovas really expand the world, because we've only seen Luffy's perspective up to that point. So we're like, okay, so Luffy is like exceptional. He is the one. He is the biggest problem for the world government. And then you realize, no, there's a bunch of other people who are doing similar things to Luffy. So like this world is much bigger than you realize.
Yeah. And it's cute that when the plan fails and they have to jump into the mirror and the mirror shatters, and everyone's freaking out, and then Beige has to pull his, he has to, use his rook. Big Father becomes a castle. It's like every character contributes. Like no one is forgotten.
No, yeah, Beige definitely, like up to this point, I wasn't like impressed with him. I thought he had a cool devil fruit power, but that was it. But he definitely, in this part of the arc, became a much more interesting and complex character. And someone in the chat reminded me, he put up a sign that said the Straw Hats went that way when they were running away.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god!
Very effective logic, bro.
So have we seen Sanji going to make the cake?
What was that?
We have seen Sanji going to make the cake, correct?
Yes. So what ends up happening is Big Mom is about to destroy the entire island on her rampage because she wants the wedding cake that was denied her because of what happened at the wedding. So then Pudding and Chiffon decide that they are skilled enough to make the cake, but they need to do it as soon as possible. A wedding cake takes a long time to make, and the chef who made it is indisposed. So Sanji actually decides to join Pudding and Chiffon after everything that Pudding put him through, because he doesn't want everyone to be literally murdered on that island, and he's a great cook, so he decides to actually help. So he goes off with Pudding and Chiffon, whereas the other guys go off on the Sunny, and Luffy also stays behind to fight Katakuri in the mirror world.
Yeah, boy.
Basically, some pretty great stuff.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that there's like a nice chunk of chapters left for another week of Whole Cake, because Luffy versus Katakuri is my favorite fight in One Piece.
Oh my god!
And wait,
it's not yours.
It's one of my favorites. I don't know. I haven't really thought of a ranking for that yet. But I'm impressed by how much you like. I did not know you like Katakuri this much.
Yeah. No, I'm not even memeing. Like, I memed about Cracker. He is pretty horrible. But, like, in all honesty, Katakuri is probably... Zoro's my favorite character in One Piece. Second is either Katakuri or Law.
Yeah,
and then
I don't know.
that
I don't know where you're coming from at this point, but we'll see.
Yeah.
He better have like a compelling backstory or something, because so far he just seems like this.
Nah, he just uses squishy attacks, and I like squishy.
And he's got a scarf on his face.
Man, that's a hiding argument right there.
Yeah, his devil fruit, you could go fluff, fluff, fluff.
Yeah, he could go squish, squish.
Right.
No, yeah, but honestly, man, Sanji just throughout this arc has so many great moments, and that moment of him deciding to help make the cake, even though, you know, everyone on this island has been trying to like kill him, is so epic.
Simp!
Yeah.
Shouldn't make the cake. Big Mom will just destroy the whole island. Okay, he's betraying his ideals. Screw ideals. Get out of here. What a simp.
He's the Chad of simps.
What a simp. Yo, Big Mom
he also
cake and then try to kill Luffy.
Damn, I don't want to add something to the conversation. I don't know if it was in this part or the next part. What type of cake is Sanji making, Animac? What's the plan?
A wedding cake?
It is a wedding cake, yeah. All right, never mind. We'll talk about it next week.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. But yeah, like I said, all in all, I do love this arc so far. I love the Sanji moments. The Luffy Sanji moment was amazing. Jinbei, as you said, really shines. Nami shines. The Soul King shines. Chopper and Carrot are there.
True.
They're there. But so yeah, I'm loving it. Some of the stuff like with Big Mom just like freaking out all the time isn't the greatest, but there is a lot of great stuff here.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm excited for next week. What can I say?
Yeah, conclusion of Whole Cake is coming next week, and
but
then
so
we
far,
are.
Whole Cake is pretty top tier.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
Because like I know that just based on community feedback, a lot of people say that post time skip One Piece isn't good. That's not true.
What? It's because everyone got into One Piece around post time skip. They binged it all. It was amazing, and then they started reading week to week, and they say every arc sucks, and then they go back and rewatch or reread it if they're big fans like me, and then they think it's amazing. It happens every time.
So I love this arc so far. So the first part of it had a lot of like setting up the setting, which is very creative and interesting. Now this second part had a lot of epic moments, character moments, development moments. And now I don't know what's going to happen in the conclusion, but I'm expecting good things.
Yeah.
Especially because even setting off the fight between Luffy versus Katakuri, you have like just enough background to make sure that the fight is going to be epic. They're both in the mirror world. He shatters the mirror. He ain't going back. He conquers Haki, knocks out literally everyone around, and they both have very similar powers. This is going to be a dynamic battle.
Yeah, and I thought that it was epic how Luffy smashes the mirror so that no one can get to the Sunny, and he has to. The Katakuri has to just fight Luffy. Yeah, exactly.
No, I just want to say I hated the community while this was airing because this was supposed to be the year of Sanji, which is what Oda said, and I think it is one of Sanji's best arcs. I think it's an amazing arc, and I think it's an amazing arc for Sanji. And people are just, but he didn't fight anyone. Shut the hell up.
Oh
like they want him to be Zoro. They want him to fight they wanted him to fight Katakuri basically, and one of the higher ups. That's not Sanji's character, man. He's a fucking chef.
Right.
Yeah, like Sanji, his powers are definitely not as cool as Zoro's or Luffy's, but he is still my favorite character because of his actual character.
Can't believe you just say that like live on stream.
Yeah, bro, I don't think French guy kicking people is the coolest possible power.
Yo, he plays croquet probably.
In France.
With his feet.
With his feet.
Yo, there's a special episode of One Piece where Sanji kicks a soccer ball around the world.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it goes all the way around the world and into the net.
That's bullshit because the ball would actually collapse.
That's bullshit because the world's flat, so it would just go nowhere.
I agree. Unless it bounced off the ice wall at the edge and then went back.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I do want Sanji to hook up with my girl, Violet, aka Viola.
Honestly, at this point in this arc, bro, you can't say you don't even a little bit ship Sanji and Pudding.
I mean, a little bit, but still, bro, she's crazy.
Bro, I actually ship Sanji with everyone. In Dressrosa with Viola. In,
I know. It's like, I just wanted to get some, bro. I just wanted to get some.
It's so sad because in One Piece, I really don't care about ships, but Sanji is the only one that like I kind of ship with people.
Yo, if Sanji doesn't end up with a girl at the end of One Piece, I'm boycotting.
That'd be
I know.
sad. Like Zoro could stay single. Luffy, stay single. Frankie, whatever. But like Sanji's the only one that should end up with someone.
At this point, I care more about his love life than my own, bro. He has to find love. He has to find love.
By the way, you know who else ships Sanji and Pudding?
Who?
Rusted.
Big Mom, let's go!
No, she doesn't, though. She doesn't. But anyway, yeah, so from what we've seen so far, I do not see how they can beat Big Mom. Because she was just shown as so overpowered that, you know, they couldn't even scratch her. They've been just running away from the menace that is Big Mom. So I don't know how they win. I have no idea.
Nothing a good sense of humor can't fix.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to the next time. Next OPV. We be talking about, honestly, the majority of that discussion will probably be around Katakuri. Thank you, UB, for the 5 subs.
Yeah, we'll see about Katakuri. Thank you, UB. Everyone, thank you for watching. We're back again next week, reading up to chapter 902, finishing off the whole Cake arc. Definitely check us out. Share it with your friends if you enjoyed the One Piece version. You want them to check it out. It means a lot to us. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
Bang.